and not face the reality that the United States was hacked by Russia during the election? Will you accept that as fact?
No, I'm sorry. I think it is still unproven. There's an enormous amount of forensic evidence that points to a conclusion based on the download times that there was no hack.
Well, Friday, it seems, Mueller released some more indictments to go along with the last round, this time indicting 12 Russian intelligence officers on the hacking of the DNC and John Podesta's emails. Before we talk about the allegations at hand, let's look at CNN's editing of his comments real quick.
Finally, the indictment seeks the forfeiture of property involved in the criminal activity. There is no allegation in this indictment that any American citizen committed a crime.
Yeah, that was a quick cut. Wonder why. Well, let's look at the actual comments.
There is no allegation in this indictment that any American citizen committed a crime. There's no allegation that the conspiracy changed the vote count or affected any election result.
Yeah, they had to be sure to cut away from that bit about didn't affect any elections pretty quickly. Would hate to ruin that narrative. Now, CNN's rather shoddy editing aside, let's look at Rosenstein's actual allegations.
The defendants used two techniques to steal information. First, they used a scheme known as spear phishing, which involves sending misleading email messages and tricking the users into disclosing their passwords and security information.
Yes, Operation Nigerian Prince. That's a very well-known GRU tactic.
They also hacked into the computer networks of a congressional campaign committee and a national political committee. The defendants covertly monitored the computers and planted hundreds of files containing malicious computer code and stole emails and other documents.
Ooh, are you sure it was remotely stolen? Are you sure about that? Because the evidence a lot of people have seen seem to suggest that that would be physically impossible. So before I believe anything he has to say, I would have to see the servers. Has he seen the servers? Has anyone but CrowdStrike seen the servers? This is an interesting question, and I'm guessing the answer is negative. But then why release these indictments? Why come out here and claim the Russians hacked the emails?
It's a remarkable turn of events. It comes just hours after President Trump referred to the Mueller probe again as a witch hunt, and just a few days before he meets with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Well, it gives the media two narratives to run with. The first is the one we've heard many times before, that this just shows Mueller's getting closer. His probe's gaining steam. It is totally legitimate to have it drug on for 2 years now. The second is the refrain that Trump is friendly with Putin, and this is evidence that they colluded. And don't get it twisted. If Trump doesn't do something super drastic at his meeting with Putin at Helsinki, the media is going to use it as evidence of collusion. Guaranteed. And we know we can't trust Mueller. He's already been dinged by one federal court judge for going outside the scope of the investigation in what the judge deemed an attempt to hurt Trump. And of course, the last set of indictments included a Russian company that didn't even exist at the time of the crimes committed. So his track record on having actual evidence is not exactly there. There is one thing that this does accomplish, and it's in regard to some news nobody picked up in the mainstream outlets. Well, a couple of days ago, Jack Berkman, in fact, unveiled at a press conference that he had actually found a witness to Seth Rich's murder. Now, Seth Rich was the one who was believed to have originally taken and downloaded the emails to a thumb drive and then leaked them to WikiLeaks. And the more conspiratorial types suggest that he was then killed for this. Now, this witness to his death fingered a DEA agent and an ATF agent, which lends credence to the conspiracy theory that he was killed as retribution. Mueller coming out and indicting these Russians for hacking the emails is a great way to send people off the trail. So the question becomes, is Mueller trying to cover for the death of Seth Rich? It would be hard to say that now, but given the track record on these indictments, I would not hold my breath and expect a whole lot to come from these Russians indicted. In fact, it'd be very funny to see some of them challenge the indictment like they did the last time around. What I really think this is a distraction. The media needs something to keep their anti-Trump narrative alive. Mueller and Rosenstein are feeling the heat, especially with the Strzok interview going as badly as it did. And this quietly and effectively undercuts any whispers about Seth Rich's murder. This is a conveniently timed political move that anyone who's seen the actual forensic evidence surrounding the emails knows is nonsense. But it'll play well with the mainstream narratives, and it will quietly sweep under the rug any nasty bit of dirt the DNC might still have laying around. We still haven't seen those servers. We are the Republic's walls, and they will have to come and take it.